Hello there, and welcome to this episode of Wednesday Wisdom. If this is your first time here, my name is Lisa Coleman. I am a real estate agent in the Raleigh area and also on the coast of North Carolina. And every Wednesday, I try to bring you some tips, some news on things that either I have learned through the last week or just share general knowledge with you to make your real estate journey a little bit easier. And today, we're going to talk about a clue report. Now, this is for current homeowners or sellers, or even if you're investing. When you're going out to get a loan, you have a credit report. That is, your worthiness. Well, for homes, we have what's called a clue report, or insurance agents have what's called a clue report. And that tells you the, worthiness of your home. But it also lets you know about things like, has it ever flooded in the past, if a claim has been made, or if it had caught on fire, or anything like that. Now, keep in mind, only the items on the clue report that will show up are things that a homeowner has claimed. So if the house is caught on fire and the homeowner chose to pay for it out of their pocket, it wouldn't be on there. But that's usually not the case. And this is the reason these are very important and should be checked ASAP with your insurance agent the minute you go under contract in your due diligence time period. And I learned this kind of the hard way, and this was probably an exception, but I will share my experience. So many years ago, probably I think it was in 2010, so we're talking 15 years ago, a house in the neighborhood that I was living in burned down. The owners decided not to rebuild in that spot. They decided they would just move somewhere else. And so we were able to get that lot. They, completely tore down the house that was there. It was just a shell that was left. And we took that lot, hired an excellent private builder here in the area, and built a home. As we were getting ready to close, I called my real estate agent to finalize the insurance. And the rate was insane. I mean, it was like ridiculously high. And I asked him, I said, why is this so high? It was, just astronomical. And he told me, he said, well, because there was a fire claim on there. And I said, yeah, and the house was destroyed and torn down, and this is a brand new construction. And he told me, he said, because the claim follows the address, not the house. And that kind of threw me for a loop. That made my, my insurance payment per month probably $400 more above what I was expecting. So I tried to fight it. I had no luck on that. So I decided, since the house was built on a corner lot, I went to the city and along with the builder, and I said, hey, can we change the address? Instead of the address being, on the street that it's always been on, can it, I changed the address to the it was on a corner cul-de-sac actually. So can I change it to this, the corner, the other street, the little side street? And the city would not let me do it because there was actually no numbers that could be assigned to that on that street, or so they claimed. And they said, we can only have so many houses on that street, since it was a really tiny cul-de-sac. I think there was only 4 houses on it. They said we could not do that. So the city wouldn't let me change the address, which would have gotten me out of that. So for 3 years, I had to, until it fell off, I had to pay a higher insurance premium. Now, this is not the case with all insurances. I've always shared this, information when people say, I have a house that's fire damaged for sale. I'm like, okay, you need to check before you put a bid in on this. Will your insurance, follow along with this? But make sure when you're buying a house that you get the clue report from your insurance agent ASAP, because if they have had some major claims on that house, it can make your insurance go higher, or it can keep you from getting insurance at all if they've had so many claims, because the insurance company will drop and say, we're no longer going to insure this. So just a little bit of Wednesday wisdom for you. I hope y'all are having a great day.